Disadvantages of open-loop op-amp. Because the open-loop voltage gain of an op-amp is very high, usually higher than 100,000, and it can go up to 1 million. So an extremely small input voltage can also drive the op-amp into saturation. For example, the input voltage is equal to 1 mV only, while the open-loop voltage gain is 100,000. The output voltage may be equal to 1 mV times 100,000, and that is equal to 100 volts. However, the maximum rating of the supply voltage of a typical op-amp is much less than 100 volts. That's why, even the input voltage is only 1 mV, it can drive the output into deep saturation. Let's see another example with more details. An input voltage of -1 mV is applied to the inverting terminal of the op-amp. Because of the very large open-loop voltage gain of the amplifier, the output is driven into saturation. It is equal to the positive saturation voltage. This voltage is 1 volt below the positive supply voltage. When an input voltage of +1 mV is applied to the inverting terminal of the op-amp, the output will be equal to the negative saturation voltage, which is 2 volts higher than the negative supply voltage. Some of you may ask, why a positive input will lead to a negative output? The reason is that the input is applying into the inverting terminal instead of the non-inverting terminal. An op-amp has this characteristic. When the voltage at the non-inverting terminal is higher than the voltage at the inverting terminal, then the output voltage will be a positive value. When the voltage at the non-inverting terminal is lower than the voltage at the inverting terminal, then the output will be a negative value. We may also say that when the input is applied to the inverting terminal of an op-amp, then the op-amp will have a negative gain. Let's list down the disadvantages of an open-loop op-amp. Because of the extremely high open-loop gain of an op-amp, even a small input noise voltage can cause the output of the op-amp to be saturated, and the operation of the op-amp become out of the linear region. It can sometimes even cause the output to oscillate. Another disadvantage of open-loop op-amp is that the open-loop gain parameter is not a well-controlled parameter during manufacturing. So you can have two op-amp IC chips having the same part number, but very different open-loop voltage gains.